from the soul with it. Yeah.
What's going on, everybody? The Island Rex coming to you live with yet another video. If you're new to the channel, please be sure to click that subscribe button. Also, don't forget to hit that notification bell so you can be a part of the notification squad. So I want to talk to y'all about Gervonta Tank Davis. He just recently did an interview on The Breakfast Club. Great interview, very impressive interview. I really liked the interview. My only critique of the interview, I felt like it should have been longer, because Tank gave you that energy. The topics were great, and normally when you watch interviews, you'd be like, all right, when this interview gonna be over? But like it made you want more and hear more of Tank's story, and it just seemed natural, And if you have been following Tank throughout his career over the past couple of years, you have seen that he had like a speech impediment, or he had trouble like speaking, and he wouldn't even talk a lot. But he seemed comfortable in this interview, but I think that Floyd Mayweather hired, a speech coach for him. And I just like what Floyd Mayweather is doing for Tank, like he's turned this Tank into a superstar. That's what I think, And I heard Master P talked about this a couple years ago when he did an interview, and he was like, you don't see a lot of labels or a lot of these big artists. When he was talking about like, people in the industry, you don't see them stand beside someone first. Like he had an artist that he was working with during the time, which we don't know where that artist is nowadays. But he was standing by an artist, and because you don't know who that person is, And the same thing for Tank. Like nobody knew who Tank was at the time, and Floyd Mayweather would talk for him, and it seemed like Floyd Mayweather was taking his shine, and Floyd Mayweather loved the spotlight and, just talking for him. But, I also think when I started to see, now I see that Tank's by himself now and doing the Breakfast Club interview. Now it all starts to make sense and start the process with, Master P said, because I was kind of saying the same thing. I was like, man, why Floyd always, let him talk, bro? Like, you need to let him talk. You're taking a shine, woody woo, and I thought the same thing, but now that I saw the process what Master P was saying, it totally makes sense. And, Tank's timing now and, replying to a comment, in the conversation, when he speaks now, it just seems like he's really mature, and it just seems like Floyd Mayweather, him standing at the Floyd Mayweather wing, is going to be great for his career, and it's going to do extremely well. When they was asking about Lomachenko, he was just like, he ain't get an attitude, or he just was like, man, I ain't ducking, and he was talking about the hate, how, by him being by Floyd, he's talking about how the hate comes from Floyd Mayweather, and it transfers, translate over to him. Charlemagne asked him about Floyd Mayweather being, the best, how he's the best defensive fighter. Floyd Mayweather is the best defensive fighter. And Tank was like, I just think he's the greatest fighter of all time. He didn't get to see Muhammad Ali, but me, myself, I took the time to watch Muhammad Ali. But I still think Floyd Mayweather is the greatest fighter of all time. And Charlemagne was like, well, you can't, when you ask people that, they always say, oh, because Floyd Mayweather has this much money and that, you can't use, he said that's outside the ring and etc. But, if that's the case, you be contradicting yourself, because a lot of people look at Muhammad Ali as the greatest fighter simply because of out of the ring things. A lot of them say, oh, Muhammad Ali, chose not to, go to war. So, and he stood up for, African American people. That's why Muhammad Ali is the greatest, because it's something outside the ring. And then inside the ring, for me, if I was doing that interview, I would have, my response would have been a lot different than Tank's, because I know a lot more of the history. And, I can name 5 to 6 opponents that, Floyd Mayweather has fought that I think that, or, statistically or history proves that's better than, fighters that Muhammad Ali fought. You know, it's just Floyd Mayweather isn't likable, so they associate, you know, him not being likable. It's just like with Kobe Bryant. You know, a lot of people love Michael Jordan. You know, like I said, 80% of people think Michael Jordan is the greatest basketball player of all time, and they feel like LeBron James is close to Michael Jordan. And you know, with Kobe Bryant, with the rape case and things outside of basketball, is what they associate, you know, with Kobe Bryant's play on the court. Because Kobe Bryant stayed in the gym all day long, and you know, it's harder. Like I said, it's harder to hit fall away jump shots with injuries and you know being double teamed and shooting in a small circle than to pass a ball any day. You know that's tough. Your footwork, it takes a lot. You know it takes a lot of drive and competitiveness to focus on you know defense and will and competitiveness. And the same thing with Floyd Mayweather and you know him boxing. And yes, he has made the smartest moves in boxing. You know, so everything plays a major key. The interview was a great interview. You know, like I said, they asked Tank, you know, he asked some great questions. He asked Tank if he lose, do you feel like fighters lose value and do their stock like drop once they lose? And Tank, he said, yeah. He was like, being honest, he was like, man, I'm not losing. They're going to have to kill me, which is true. Like nowadays, Floyd Mayweather has set the bar so high that you have to be undefeated to really have your value. And, you know, I just want to see Tank continue to grow and see where he goes from this, man. Like, Tank has to continue to stay around Floyd Mayweather and stay out of the streets. And, you know, because Floyd wants what's best for him. Like, and that's just what it is. Like, he wants what's best for Tank. He don't want to see nothing bad happen to Tank. And he knows, like, they asked him also about Adrian Broner. And what did he learn from Adrian Broner? He was like, I learned from Adrian Broner mistakes. And, you know, he was like, he felt like Adrian Broner wasn't focused enough. And that's part of the reason why I think Adrian Broner, well, it's one of the main reasons why I feel like Adrian Broner kind of, you know, didn't do as well in boxing as he should have or should have been the next Floyd Mayweather is not only the part of him not taking boxing serious, but the fact that he didn't take his skills to another level. Like, you know, it's only a certain amount. Like, if somebody takes something away from you, you have to be able to do a variety of other things. You know, if, let's say, the jab isn't working, let me move around the ring a little bit more. You know, maybe if I touch him to the body and then throw a right hook, let me try different things. You know, he can't, you know, Adrian Broner has a problem fighting going backwards. You know, his defense isn't as great as Floyd Mayweather. He doesn't have his pivot. He doesn't. There's a lot of things about Adrian Broner that, you know, I feel like he didn't take his skills from in the next level. And, you know, just watching Floyd Mayweather could also be a problem because you try to emulate him and try to be like him. I feel like the problem with what Floyd Mayweather did was he studied every single fighter that came before him, whether it was Sugar Ray Robinson, Sugar Ray Leonard, or, you know, Roberto Duran, or whether it was Muhammad Ali, Pernell Whitaker. Like, he took everything from all those fighters, and you can see it when you watch him fight. And I think that Tank has to do that as well. He has to watch footage of the old fighters, you know, to pick up where they left off. But me personally, I think Earl Spence is the next face of boxing. But that's just my take on it. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Get in that comment box. Like, share, subscribe. I'm out.
Yeah. Competition in my mind with your favorite rapper. I keep it G just like the helmet of a Green Bay Packer. No fear tatted across my stomach, you can never scare me. Look at these rappers surviving on popularity shit. Throw them in the lines, then with the killer the god. No Karuchi, but you get your head twist with these claws. Lion King, motherfucker, evil nigga like Scar. Mufasa, you hanging off that cliff, I throw your ass off.